The night sky over the Arizona desert was clearer than usual, a vast canvas dotted with stars, when the signal interrupted Jake Hargrove's stargazing. His radio telescope, a jury-rigged assembly of college surplus and eBay finds, began to emit a strange, rhythmic series of beeps that didn't match any known satellite or space debris. "Tara, come take a look at this," Jake shouted, not taking his eyes off the readings on his laptop screen. Tara Nguyen, his longtime friend and a fellow exobiologist, rushed over, her steps kicking up small clouds of dust. "What's up?" she asked, leaning over his shoulder to gaze at the data. "I don't know yet, but it's nothing I've seen before. It doesn't match any known patterns. This could be it, Tara. This could actually be it," Jake said, his voice a mix of excitement and disbelief. "Let's not jump to aliens right away. Could be a prank or a glitch. Remember April Fools?" Tara teased, but her eyes were wide with anticipation as she started cross-referencing the signal with known frequencies. As they debated, Jake's phone buzzed. The screen showed an unknown number, and he answered hesitantly. "Hello?" "Is this Jake Hargrove?" a stern voice asked. "Yes, speaking." "This is General Cartwright from NORAD. We need you to come to Colorado Springs immediately. It's about the signal you've detected." Jake exchanged a shocked glance with Tara. "How did you—" "We're tracking all unusual space-related activities, Mr. Hargrove, and your setup just hit the jackpot." Within hours, Jake and Tara were escorted by military personnel to a meeting room deep within Cheyenne Mountain. The walls were lined with screens showing data and live feeds from around the world. They were not alone. A few other civilians were there, looking just as bewildered. General Cartwright entered the room, a folder in his hands. "Thank you all for coming on such short notice. At 3:07 this morning, our systems detected an anomalous signal similar to what Mr. Hargrove's equipment picked up. This is not a drill, nor is it terrestrial in origin." The room buzzed with nervous energy. A woman in a Navy suit stepped forward, extending her hand to Jake and Tara. "I'm Dr. Lena Joe, head of the SETI program at NASA. We've been analyzing the signal, and it has patterns that suggest an intelligent origin. We believe it's a communication attempt." Jake's heart raced. "Have we replied?" "Not yet. That's why you're here," General Cartwright said. "We need experts in astrobiology, linguistics, cryptography, and every relevant field to help us understand and respond. This is a global effort now." Tara, always the pragmatic one, frowned. "What about public panic? This could cause chaos." Dr. Joe nodded. "We're preparing a statement, but the truth is we can't keep this a secret for long. The world deserves to know." A young man from the corner, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "If this is real, we're talking about the biggest discovery in human history. We're not just scientists today. We're ambassadors for our entire species." The weight of his words hung in the air. Jake felt a surge of responsibility, mixed with an uncontainable excitement. He looked around the room, at the faces of those who would soon be his colleagues in the greatest adventure humanity had ever undertaken. "We need a plan," Jake said decisively. "We need to be smart, careful, and above all, we need to work together. Let's get started." As they gathered around the table, cluttered with laptops and papers, the sense of purpose was palpable. Humanity was about to step into the unknown, and for Jake, there was no turning back. The journey to the alien starship was surreal. Jake and Tara, along with a team of top scientists and military advisors, were shuttled aboard a massive silver vessel that hung in Earth's orbit like a silent guardian. As they approached, the scale of the craft, a technological marvel stretching kilometers in length, left everyone aboard their transport in awe. Inside, the environment was starkly different from the utilitarian military aesthetics they were used to. The corridors were sleek, illuminated by a soft ambient light that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. The air was tinged with a hint of ozone, and every surface they touched felt slightly warm, adapting to their presence. They were greeted by Vorin, a humanoid with subtle blue skin and a slender build, who introduced himself with a calm, melodic voice that resonated oddly in their ears. "Welcome, representatives of Earth. I am Vorin, your liaison with the Galactic Council. Please follow me." As they walked, Vorin explained the structure of the Galactic Council. "Our coalition consists of multiple civilizations from this galaxy, each committed to peace and mutual advancement. Humanity's potential inclusion is of great interest to us." They reached a large chamber, where beings of various shapes and sizes were seated in a semicircle. The center of the room featured a holographic projector, which soon flickered to life, displaying Earth in vibrant detail. Vorin continued. This council will observe and evaluate your species through a series of discussions and trials. Your performance will determine your eligibility for membership. Dr. Joe whispered to Jake, "We need to impress them, but we also need to understand their intentions. Stay sharp." The council's chair, being a towering figure named Senthar, spoke next, his voice booming across the chamber. "Humans of Earth, we have observed your planet and your progress. You are young, yet you have achieved much. However, concerns about your species' aggressive history and rapid technological advancements remain." Jake stepped forward, addressing the council with a steady voice. "We understand your concerns. Humanity has its flaws, but we are eager to learn and grow. We hope to prove that our contributions can be valuable, and that our spirit is aligned with the council's goals of peace and cooperation." The session evolved into a Q&A, with council members asking pointed questions about Earth's environmental issues, wars, and cultural conflicts. Jake answered honestly but highlighted humanity's efforts towards resolution and innovation in various fields. Senthar finally nodded, seemingly satisfied. "Your candor is appreciated, Mr. Hargrove. The next step will be participation in the Trials of Integration, a series of challenges designed to test your adaptability, intelligence, and ethical reasoning." As the meeting adjourned, Vorin led them to their quarters aboard the ship. "Rest well. The trials begin tomorrow. Your journey through them will be closely monitored, not just by us, but by civilizations across the galaxy." Back in his room, Jake couldn't help but feel the gravity of their situation. He recorded a message in his digital journal. "Today, we stood before the stars as equals, and yet as supplicants. Tomorrow, we start proving that humanity isn't just worthy of this galactic assembly, but essential to it. The real trial, however, isn't about passing their tests. It's about proving to ourselves that we can rise to the occasion." As he set the journal aside, Jake looked out the porthole at the Earth far below, its blues and greens stark against the blackness of space. A sense of resolve filled him. Whatever the trials held, he was ready to face them. The first trial was set on a remote, barren planet chosen by the Galactic Council for its harsh conditions and unpredictable weather patterns. As the team prepared to disembark from the ship, Jake tried to boost morale. "Remember, everyone, it's not just about surviving out there. It's about demonstrating our capacity to adapt and work together under pressure," he said, checking his gear one last time. The environment they stepped into was unlike anything on Earth. The sky was a permanent dusk, cast in shades of deep orange and violet, and the ground beneath their boots was spongy, composed of some organic material that wasn't immediately identifiable. As they set up their temporary base, a holographic figure of Vorin appeared. "Welcome to your first challenge," the projection announced. "You must reach the beacon located 30 kilometers north from your current position within 3 days, without using any of your advanced technologies. Your journey will be monitored. Begin when ready." The group started their trek, navigating through rocky terrains and thick, vine-like growths that seemed to move slightly as they passed. Tara, walking beside Jake, muttered, "You'd think they'd at least give us a map." Jake chuckled softly. Where would be the fun in that? Their path led them to a series of challenges. First, they encountered a wide river with rapid currents. The team had to construct a makeshift raft using the alien vegetation, which surprisingly bound together like strong rope. Next, they faced a creature resembling a large feline with scales instead of fur. It blocked their path, eyes glowing in the dim light. Jake decided they should try to distract the creature rather than confront it. Using some of their limited food supplies, they managed to lure it away long enough to escape. As night fell, they gathered in a cave for shelter. Jake took this time to discuss their progress. "We're doing well, but we need to keep up the pace. Let's make sure we're ready to move at first light." The second day brought its own set of difficulties. A sudden storm forced them to find shelter again, delaying their journey. As they huddled together, Jake used the opportunity to learn more about his team's thoughts and fears. "I know this is tough, but think about what we're showing them," Jake encouraged. "Every step we take is proof that humans aren't to be underestimated." On the final day, exhausted but determined, they sighted the beacon, a towering structure emitting a soft blue light. The relief was palpable, but as they approached, an unexpected challenge arose. A chasm, 20 meters wide, stood between them and their goal. With no materials left to build a bridge and time running out, Jake rallied the team for one final push. "We can do this. Let's pool our ideas. There has to be a way." Inspired by the earlier creature encounter, They used their remaining resources to fashion grappling hooks from the strong, vine-like growths. One by one, they managed to swing across the chasm, cheering each other on with each successful crossing. As they activated the beacon, signaling the end of the trial, Jake felt a surge of pride. They had faced the unknown with ingenuity and courage, hallmarks of what it meant to be human. Back aboard the Council ship, Vorin greeted them. "Congratulations, you have passed the first trial impressively. Your adaptability and teamwork have been noted." As they returned to their quarters, weary but exhilarated, Jake reflected on the day's events. They had not only survived, but had thrived, demonstrating the indomitable spirit of humanity. He knew the upcoming trials would only be harder, but this victory strengthened his belief in their ability to face whatever challenges came next. After their initial success in the trials, the mood among Jake's team was cautiously optimistic as they prepared for the next challenge. However, Jake noticed some irregularities in their equipment and supplies that raised his suspicion. "Does anyone else think our gear seems off?" Jake asked the team as they checked their supplies. Tara inspected her own kit, her brow furrowing. "You're right. This scanner's calibration is way off. It was fine when we packed it." Concerned, Jake decided to delve deeper into the anomalies. He reached out to Vorin, requesting access to the surveillance logs from the storage areas. Vorin, ever courteous but now showing hints of reluctance, agreed to Jake's request. As Jake and Tara reviewed the footage, it became clear. Figures cloaked in nondescript, dark robes had tampered with their equipment late at night. The implications were troubling. Someone was actively trying to undermine their success in the trials. "We need to bring this to the Council's attention immediately," Tara said, her voice tight with anger. Jake agreed, but he also saw an opportunity. "Let's use this. If we can figure out who's behind this, it could help us gain more leverage and maybe some allies in the Council." With Vorin's assistance, they presented their findings to Senthar and the other Council members. The revelation caused a stir among the various representatives, with some expressing concern over the integrity of the trials and others skeptical of the humans' claims. Senthar, however, was thoughtful. "We will investigate this matter thoroughly. The integrity of the trials is paramount. Meanwhile, your next challenge will proceed as planned, with extra scrutiny on all equipment and personnel involved." As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that a fringe group within the Galactic Council, fearful of human unpredictability and potential for violence, was behind the sabotage. Their goal was to see humanity fail, maintaining the status quo within the Council. Jake was invited to a secret meeting with a few of the more sympathetic Council members who were appalled by the sabotage. They offered their support, both politically and practically, for the remainder of the trials. "Humanity has always faced opposition and adversity head-on," Jake told them, grateful for their support. "We appreciate your help, and we won't let these actions deter us." Equipped with better secured gear and a new sense of determination, Jake and his team approached the next trial with renewed vigor. This trial, set in a complex artificial environment designed to mimic a bustling alien market, tested their ability to navigate and negotiate within an unfamiliar cultural landscape. Despite the earlier setback, Jake's team performed admirably, using their human ingenuity and adaptability to overcome the challenges posed by the market scenario. Their success in this trial further improved their standing among the Council, winning over some previously undecided members impressed by their resilience and capability. As they regrouped at the end of the day, Jake addressed his team. "Today was more than just passing another test. It was about showing that we're not just participants in these trials, we're contenders." The sabotage incident, rather than breaking their spirit, had galvanized them, binding them closer together. They now understood the stakes were higher than ever, and they were ready to face whatever came next with unity and resolve. The fifth trial, dubbed the Gauntlet, was designed to be the most demanding yet. It was set in an abandoned city on a deserted planet, once a thriving hub in the Galactic Council, but now left to decay as a testing ground for the trials. The challenge was to navigate through the city, retrieve a series of artifacts hidden within, and return them to the starting point, all within a tight time frame. As Jake and his team landed on the planet, the desolation was palpable. Buildings loomed like skeletal remains, and the wind howled through the empty streets, creating an eerie symphony of whispers and moans. The city was not only a physical labyrinth, but was also rumored to be filled with automated defense systems left behind by its former inhabitants. "Keep your eyes open, everyone. We're not just dealing with an urban jungle here. There could be anything lurking around these corners," Jake instructed, leading the group into the heart of the city. The team split into pairs to cover more ground. Jake paired up with Tara, and as they navigated the decrepit cityscape, they encountered their first obstacle, a network of laser tripwires crisscrossing a narrow alley. Using a mirror they had brought along, Jake and Tara managed to reflect the laser beams back to their sensors, temporarily disabling the system so they could pass. Each challenge they faced tested their problem-solving skills and their ability to work under pressure. As they progressed deeper into the city, the true nature of the gauntlet revealed itself. Hostile drones, remnants of the city's old security system, suddenly descended on them. The team had to use their surroundings to their advantage, ducking into buildings and using debris as cover as they devised a plan to disable the drones. Utilizing a combination of electronic jammers and quick thinking, they managed to take down the drones temporarily, but it was clear that the city was far from harmless. The constant threat kept them on edge, pushing their limits. The final challenge was the most harrowing. As they approached the location of the last artifact, the ground beneath them trembled, and they realized the city was rigged to simulate an earthquake. Buildings began to crumble around them, and the streets cracked open, revealing fiery chasms. "Stay together, move towards that open plaza," Jake shouted over the roar of collapsing structures. The team sprinted towards the safety of a less densely built-up area, helping each other over obstacles and avoiding falling debris. Once in the open, they quickly located the final artifact, but as they did, a massive drone, larger than the others and heavily armored, appeared. It was the final guardian of the gauntlet, programmed to protect the artifacts at all costs. Drawing on everything they had learned so far, the team coordinated their efforts. While some distracted the drone, others rigged a trap using cables and the remains of a fallen building. With a well-timed pull, they managed to topple a facade onto the drone, effectively incapacitating it. Breathing heavily but exhilarated, the team gathered the last artifact and made their way back to the extraction point, just as the trial time expired. They had succeeded, battered but unbeaten. Back on the ship, as they nursed bruises and recounted close calls, Jake felt a profound sense of pride. "We did more than survive today. We thrived. This wasn't just about physical strength or speed. It was about human spirit and our refusal to give up, even when faced with the impossible." As they rested and prepared for the next challenges, the respect and camaraderie among the team deepened. They knew the trials were far from over, but today they had overcome extraordinary odds, proving to themselves and the watching galaxy that humanity was indeed a force to be reckoned with. After successfully navigating the perilous challenges of the gauntlet, Jake and his team were tasked with their next trial, arguably their most critical yet, showcasing humanity's culture, achievements, and capacity for peace to the Galactic Council. This trial, unlike the previous ones, required them to highlight not how they could survive, but how they could enrich the galactic community. Back on Earth, preparations were in full swing. Jake worked closely with leaders from various fields, science, art, technology, cuisine, and more, to create a presentation that would capture the essence of human diversity and innovation. The event was set at the United Nations headquarters in New York, transformed for the occasion into a vibrant exhibition space. As the delegates from the Galactic Council arrived, escorted by Jake and other dignitaries, they were greeted with a spectacle of humanity's ingenuity. The first exhibit was a live performance by a renowned orchestra, playing compositions that melded classical Earth music with alien musical concepts previously shared by the Council's cultures. Voren, always by Jake's side as an observer, noted, "This is an intriguing fusion. Music, it seems, is a universal language." "Yes," Jake agreed. "It's one of the ways we express our deepest emotions and stories." The tour continued with displays of technological advancements, including sustainable energy solutions that had helped Earth reduce its carbon footprint, and medical innovations that had increased human lifespans and quality of life. Jake was proud to present a prototype of an interstellar engine that had been developed based on preliminary data shared by the Council. A culinary station offered tastes of Earth's diverse cuisines, with adaptations to accommodate the varied dietary needs and preferences of the alien delegates. Chefs from around the world prepared dishes live, turning the meal into a dynamic show of skill and creativity. Perhaps the most captivating display was the art gallery, featuring works from artists across the globe, alongside interactive virtual reality setups that allowed visitors to experience human history and culture as if they were walking through it. As the event drew to a close, Jake took the stage to address the assembly. "Today, we've shown you a glimpse of what makes us human. Our creativity, our drive to better ourselves, and our respect for diversity are what we bring to the table. We believe that these qualities can contribute positively to the Galactic Council. The reaction from the council members varied widely. Some were visibly moved by the displays, others curious and engaged with questions, probing the sustainability and scalability of the technologies and social structures they had seen. Senthar, who had been quietly observing all day, approached Jake afterwards. "Your world is vibrant and full of potential, Mr. Hargrove. This showcase has provided us with much to consider about humanity's place among us." As the delegates departed, Jake felt a mixture of relief and anticipation. They had achieved what they set out to do: impress and engage the council. But the decision about humanity's inclusion still loomed. Back at the UN, as the exhibits were being dismantled, Tara came up beside him, looking out at the now empty hall. "No matter what happens, we've already won, Jake. We've shown not just the galaxy but ourselves what we're capable of." Jake nodded, feeling the weight of their journey. "Now we wait. But whatever the decision, we'll face it together, as one humanity." In the aftermath of the showcase, the atmosphere among the human delegation was one of tense anticipation. Jake spent the following days in consultations and informal meetings with various members of the Galactic Council, each conversation deepening his understanding of the complex political and cultural tapestry of the galaxy. Finally, the day of the verdict arrived. The council convened in their grand chamber aboard their flagship, orbiting Earth. The room was filled with representatives from countless civilizations, each with their own unique form of communication and expression, creating a cacophony of galactic discourse. Jake, Tara, and the rest of the team were seated together, their futures, as well as that of their entire species, hanging in the balance. Senthar presided over the session, his voice bringing order to the chaos. "Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of the Council," Senthar began, "we have observed and interacted with humanity extensively. We have witnessed their trials, their culture, their technology, and their spirit. Today, we decide their fate as potential members of our Galactic Council." One by one, representatives from different planets rose to speak. Some expressed concerns about humanity's turbulent history and potential for violence. Others praised human creativity, resilience, and the rapid progress they had observed. A pivotal moment came when a representative from a planet known for its peaceful philosophy and significant influence within the Council spoke up. "While it is true that humanity has waged war upon itself throughout its history, we must also acknowledge their extraordinary capacity for growth and change. They have shown a willingness to learn from their past, embracing a future that aspires to harmony and cooperation." Jake was given the opportunity to make a final statement. He stood, his heart pounding, but his voice steady. "Esteemed members of the Council, we are not perfect, but we strive every day to be better. We seek to learn from each of you, to grow and contribute to the galaxy's collective knowledge and well-being. We ask for the chance to prove ourselves worthy of this great responsibility." As Jake concluded, murmurs filled the chamber, a blend of skepticism and support. The vote was cast in silence, each representative recording their decision electronically. The tension was palpable as they awaited the results. Finally, Senthar stood to announce the outcome. "With a majority in favor, humanity is hereby granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council, subject to further evaluation and guidance. Congratulations, Earth. You have shown that you are ready to join the larger community of the galaxy." A cheer went up among the human delegation, mixed with sighs of relief. Jake felt a profound sense of achievement and possibility. They had crossed an unimaginable threshold into a new era for humanity. After the session, Voran approached Jake with a smile. "Mr. Hargrove, you and your people have opened a new chapter today, not just for yourselves, but for the entire galaxy. We look forward to learning from you as much as you will learn from us." As they walked out of the chamber, Tara nudged Jake. "So, what's next, Ambassador?" Jake laughed, the weight of the world, of many worlds, lifting slightly. "Now, we get to work. We have a lot to do, learning to be a part of this galaxy and making sure we represent Earth well." The decision marked not just the end of their trials, but the beginning of an entirely new journey for humanity, one filled with promise, challenges, and the boundless potential of a united galaxy. The weeks following humanity's admission to the Galactic Council were a whirlwind of activity. As Earth's newly appointed ambassador to the Council, Jake found himself at the heart of a multitude of diplomatic engagements, educational exchanges, and interstellar projects. The provisional status meant that Earth was under observation, and every action was scrutinized, but it also opened up unprecedented opportunities for collaboration and growth. The first major initiative was the establishment of the Earth Galactic Exchange Program, EGEP, designed to facilitate cultural and technological exchanges between Earth and other council members. The program was an immediate success, attracting scientists, artists, educators, and thinkers from across the galaxy to participate in knowledge-sharing sessions. On Earth, the public's reaction to their new status was a mixture of pride and apprehension. To address this, Jake helped orchestrate a series of public forums broadcast globally, where humans could ask questions directly to their new alien partners. These sessions did wonders to demystify the aliens and highlighted the mutual benefits of the council membership. Meanwhile, Tara led a team that collaborated with alien engineers to develop advanced environmental restoration projects. Utilizing alien technologies, they began restoring Earth's most damaged ecosystems at a pace previously thought impossible. The project served as a flagship example of how interstellar cooperation could directly benefit planetary health. One of Jake's most challenging tasks was negotiating a series of trade agreements with other council species. These negotiations tested his diplomatic skills and deepened his understanding of the intricate balance of interests that defined the galactic economy. Each agreement brought Earth closer to the galactic community, weaving humanity into the fabric of shared destiny and responsibility. During a particularly intense negotiation session, Jake was pulled aside by Senthar, who had become a mentor of sorts. "You are doing well, Jake. But remember, the strength of these agreements lies not just in what Earth gains, but in what it contributes. The Council respects those who give as much as they take." Inspired by these words, Jake focused on positioning Earth not just as a beneficiary of galactic benevolence, but as an active contributor to galactic welfare. Earth's fresh perspectives on art, music, and democracy intrigued many, enriching the cultural diversity of the galaxy. As the anniversary of Earth's admission approached, the Council convened to review Earth's provisional status. The meeting was a formality. The contributions and progress Earth had made were evident. Earth was granted full membership, a testament to its successful integration into the galactic community. In his speech at the ceremony, Jake reflected on the journey. "Today marks not the end, but the beginning of our shared journey. We stand ready to face the challenges of the galaxy, not just as survivors, but as creators, thinkers, and dreamers. Let us move forward, together." Back on Earth, as he watched the sunset from the same Arizona desert where he had first detected the alien signal, Jake felt a profound connection to the cosmos. The stars seemed closer now, not just in the sky, but in spirit. As night fell, he received a message from an alien child participating in the EGEP, expressing excitement about visiting Earth. Jake smiled, realizing that the true impact of their council membership was the bridging of worlds and hearts. Humanity had not just joined the galaxy, they had become a part of its heartbeat, ready to explore the vast, unknown frontiers together. The future was wide open, filled with potential and the promise of the unknown. As Jake looked up at the stars, he knew humanity was no longer reaching for the stars. They were among them,